was left very far away. I thought that may he was crying there, what he was doing there. Okay? And I was thinking there are some other people too with me. So, and after that, I stood, it was dense darkness. I was not looking any path, any way, and how I can come down. Because I climbed on that, reached as a monkey in this way, by foot and hand both. But when I stood on that, stone, and I was thinking that now I am touching sky. Okay? I was thinking that I am very near to now. Heaven you can say, God you can say anything. Okay? Weightless my body. Then there was very, very sharp rays. Okay? In this side, left side was that wolf. Okay? And right side was little slope. So I walked on that, race. And it was very, very wonderful experience. I can't explain. And there is one method in breathing exercises. I was doing it those days that, okay, your body becomes weightless at that process, and you are not walking, but you are, in this way jumping. Your whole body is, from here to there, there to there, there to there, in this way, going this way. At those days, when I was walking on the road, so my speed was 20 miles, okay, walk. I was walking as a person I walk, but my speed was 20 miles. Okay. Chaitanya Jyoti, these all knew that instant. People were running behind me, running, but they were not touching me. I was walking only this way. And it was up to 70, 72. Okay. When I came London, then I left all my activities, whatever I was doing. That was a very strange thing. Okay? Because all these Hatha Yoga process demand some proper place. So there everywhere was some this and that, so it was not possible to do all these things. So I left. So, and that all finished. But when I came down and I saw those people who were waiting me, and after 10 o'clock at night they left that place, they returned where I was, staying in a room, and they all were crying there. They were thinking that I can't return, from that place. Because when I was on the top, the cloud came and snow fall very heavily, because there always snow is falling, always. Not only some inches, when you are, whatever you are counting here, now 20 inches, 10 inches, or 40 inches. There people are not counting in inches, people are counting in foot, okay? So that is a glacier, that is Himalaya. So there is only snow, nothing else. You can't see any, clay there, you can't see any other thing.
So what was the name of the mountain?
Himalaya? Himalaya? Kedarkhand. Kedarkhand. In Himalaya there are so many places that is Kedarkhand. And in front of Kedarkhand that is called Bhairo Ghati or Bhairo, Tekri, what is the name? Okay? That is glacier. Okay? So telling you that at that time I felt that body become weightless. Okay? And what is prasantasya meaning is, I realized that. Prasantasya and Paramatma Samahita. Jitatmanah Prasantasya Paramatma Samahita. That is Prasantasya. Many rivers are entering into ocean, but ocean always lives its own limitation without any disturbance. Due to that is called Prashanta Mahasagara. Okay? Prashant. Not only peaceful. Peaceful means Shant. That is Prashanta. Okay? Most peaceful. Okay? So that is the state. When your mind becomes most peaceful and all worldly affairs come, enter in that mind, but become unable to create disturbance. That is prasantasya. So jitatmanah, subdued mind, prasantasya, most peaceful, okay? Tranquil, and serenity become nature. Okay? Why? How that person achieved that state? Lord stated here, Paramatma Samahita, because he become one with God. He become one with God. He merged his little I amness into, supreme cause, supreme consciousness. He become one with that. He is not living in the body. Okay? People look that he is living in the body. But really, he is living always into God. He is God-minded person. He achieved Godhood. He become one with God. Paramatma Samahitah. He engrossed into Godhead. Samahita means engrossed. Okay? He become engrossed. He become one with Godhead. He engrossed in Godhead. Paramatma Samahita. Then Sitoshna Sukha Dukkhesu Tatha Manapamane. Cold and hot. Sita and Ushna. Cold and heat. Both become same for him. Cold means, as we are saying, he has very rainy time. Rainy time means, griefful time, sorrowful time. His time is not good really. Rainy time doesn't mean that there is, rain is falling always on him. No, this is symbolical language. Lord stated here symbolical language. Sitoshna, Sukha Dukkhesu, Tatha Manapamanayo. There are some, characteristic it is very hard to understand who is Prashantatma, who is Paramatma Samahita, who is subdued mind. Then you can think. You can test your own self. Sitoshna sukha dukkhesu tatha manapamaneyo. Sitoshna related with your physical world. Sometimes you are receiving some good response and sometimes you are receiving some bad response. So good response and bad response. It means a person is telling, he is very, very cold for me. And sometimes, wow, he welcomed warmly. Warmly means warmly here is Ushna. And cold here is Shita. Shito Ushna. If any person, come to you and you are seeing him, he is asking, Namaste ji. Namaste bhaiya. What happened? Why you are getting so long breath? What happened? Okay? It means this is a cold reception. Okay? But if any person is coming and you are saying, oh, welcome, welcome my dear, come, come. Oh, I was waiting you, I was remembering, just you I was remembering. Either you are remembering him or not. But your behavior, okay, make him happy. At that stage he will think, okay, I came a good place, on a good time. Okay? But when you are welcoming him in cold way, then he will think, oh, I waste my time, I waste my energy. Okay? Why I came here? He will think it this way. So, that person who is living in higher level of consciousness, either you are welcoming him warmly or you are welcoming him coldly. He has no mind. Okay? Because he is thinking always that world is related with only self-interest. Okay? If you are able to fulfill other self-interest, then people will welcome you warmly. Otherwise, they have no interest. Okay? So he who becomes fully aware about truth, he who becomes fully aware about the reality of this society or human mind, he never minds how people are receiving him, how people are treating with him, how people are believing him. He has no mind. Never. So, Sitoshna, Sukha Dukkhesu, and sometimes grief or sometimes pleasure. When come in his life, he is always happy, always happy. Okay? Because he thinks that pain and pleasure both are related with mental conception. Okay? And I am not mind, I am not ego, as I am reciting that one, my poem. तू तन नहीं, तू मन नहीं, ना इंद्रियां चित बुद्धि है, प्राकृत गुणों के खेल में भूला हुआ निज शुद्धि है, करता नहीं तू कर्म का, अभिमान तन का त्याग रे, पहचान अपने आप को बीती निशा अब जागरे. You are not mind, you are not body, you are not senses, you are not mind stuff. Okay? But you forget your real nature. You become busy with this worldly body affair, effect of nature, and effect of three gunas. So try to realize your own self and be aware about truth. See, now night finished. Be awake. This is very great message. And Lord stated here, such kind of yogi always realizes that grief and sorrows are pain and pleasure, both are result of mental concept. What kind of your mind is thinking? And what kind of concept you have in your mind? That will let you with it. If your mind is subdued, clear, I have no any kind of concept about anything. Because there is no place for worldly concept, my dear. There is only one concept related to Godhead. There was a great saint in India. He was Muslim, but he was better than Hindu too. His name was Rahim Khan Khana. He was very dear friend of Saint Tulsidas. And he wrote many dohas, poetry in Hindi. And he wrote, भरी सराय रहीम लख पथिक आप फिर जाए. Because he told that now no any kinds of desire is coming in my mind. Why? Because my mind become full with Godhood, with Lord Rama. He was devotee of Rama. He wrote that my mind become full with Lord Rama. So there is no place for any other newcomer. When any guest coming near to mind, and when he sees that there is no place, automatically he returns from there. He told. It means if your mind will be fulfilled with divine grace, divine love, divine presence, then automatically there will be no place for others. Then how desire will come there? Your desire is related with some either form or wealth or taste or smell or touch or sound, this what objects. So one great saint told that whatever worldly substances are, I don't think they can, you can compare them all with a only hair of Godhead. Only hair of Godhead. So, how your mind will follow them? If your mind is busy with Godhead. And Saint Tulsidas wrote in Vinay Patrika too, Jao santosh sudha nisibasar sapnev kabahut pave, in dream also. If once you will see a glance of Godhead in dream, be aware, your mind never will go any other place. Taukat vishay biloki jhoot jal, man kurang jivdhar. Your mind is wandering hither and thither. Why? Because mind is not satisfied due to that. Dissatisfaction is the root cause of wandering of your mind. So when your mind will be satisfied with divine power, divine beauty, divine glory, divine relation, divine attachment, automatically your mind will turn its own face from worldly affairs. Okay? So here Lord stated, Sitoshna Sukha Dukkhesu, mind become free from Sitoshna Sukha Dukkha, pain and pleasure, cold and heat, war, and Tatha Manapamanayo, respect and disrespect. Okay? Mind never think about that too. And really there will be no mind. Okay? You will be mindless on that state. Because mind is mind up to that, state when it is related with senses. If your mind will turn inside and will be one with Supreme, okay, there will be no mind. Then pure consciousness, pure yourself. As I told you many times, because yourself is appearing into intellect and creating ego, and then ego appear into form of mind, the third projection. Okay? When your mind will turn, then what it will be? Ego. And ego will merge into intellect. Then at that time it will be pure consciousness only, nothing else. In Upanishad, we are reading that when a person becomes amana, amana means mindless. When you will be amana, mindless, at that time only when you will be desireless, egoless, then you will be mindless. There will be only pure consciousness, your own real existence, nothing else. So when you will be mindless, then people are, giving you honor, are behaving with you, in other way, they will never mind, because there will be no mind. They will enjoy. In both states you will enjoy. Okay? Yeah. I was living with a great saint, and I have seen his life. Wow. In my life, I lived with some great saints. I don't think that I will forget them in any life, not only in life. And his great saint's name was Baba Mani Ram. I am talking always about him, okay, with my disciples. How great he was. I have seen all these qualities in so many different saints in India. And among those there was one Mani Ram Baba. How many years old he was, I don't know. I spent many times, with him. And long time too. He was really, living knowledge. I was thinking that he is abode of knowledge, incarnation of knowledge only. Knowledge and love, nothing else. I was thinking that he has no flesh and bone. His whole personality is only knowledge and love. Okay. Baba Mani Ram. And I heard his story. He was a young boy and was married. His wife was very, very beautiful. Very beautiful. And both have, you know, too much, you know, too much love for each other. Too much love. Not love. Excess, you can say. You can say luckily or unluckily. When he was only 18 years, perhaps 18 years old, or 20 years old, his wife became sick. And his wife became sick and she left taking food, meal and food. When she left food, at that time he left food too. After 20 days, she died. He didn't take food 20 days because she was not taking food. And when she was going to die, and he was, you know, near to her, she asked that now I am going. Do you know? He told, yeah, I know. Then what will you do without me? And then he cried. My dear, I can't live without you. Oh, this great mistake, she told. Really, she was Indian woman. You don't know story of Lord, Saint Tulsidas? She told. You don't know story of Saint Tulsidas? Yeah, I know. What he did? I know you love me more than Tulsidas, as Tulsidas was loving his wife. You love more than Tulsidas. I know. But I think that today this is a divine plan. God decided to separate us only for your welfare. Then what do you think? I am telling you, you don't try to get another marriage, okay? And try to pay your love and affection, whatever you have for me, to Lord Ram. Okay? I will wait you in heaven. Okay? But I wish to see you as a great saint, as a Tulsidas one. She told. And he promised, and she asked, can you promise with me? And he caught her hand and promised, my dear, this is my last word I am giving you. Okay? You will see me as the Saint Tulsidas was. Okay? Don't worry. I will devote my whole love and heart and life to Lord Ram. Okay? And he was surprised when he told. At once she died. She left his body. But he didn't cry. He took her body. He went to bank of Ganges. He cremated her body. He took her body and went to bank of Ganges, cremated her body, and after that he became monk. He became monk. He didn't talk with anybody. Not only 1 and 2 years, many, many years. People were saying more than 20 years. He didn't talk with anybody. And he left all his belongings. He was living in naked form. And met a great saint and was baptized, initiated by him.